small farm known as Hinterkaifeck. The farm was isolated, surrounded by dense forests, and only a few people lived there, an elderly couple, their daughter, and 2 grandchildren. It was a quiet place, but its peace was shattered by a series of terrifying events. It all started a few days before the murders. The family noticed strange noises coming from the attic, footsteps, shuffling sounds. At first they believed it was just an animal, but as the noises persisted they became more unsettling. They heard rustling at night, things moving in the attic when no one should have been there. The family became increasingly paranoid, locking doors and windows, but the sounds continued, each night growing louder, more ominous. On the evening of March 31st, the farm's maid, who had recently joined the family, became frightened and left in a hurry. She had been hearing footsteps in the attic too, and couldn't bear the fear any longer. She later described the atmosphere as oppressive and suffocating. She wasn't the only one disturbed. The elderly couple's daughter, Victoria, also expressed concerns to neighbors about the strange noises in the house and the unsettling feeling that someone was watching them. The next morning, something even more terrifying happened. The family was found dead. In the morning of April 1st, neighbors became concerned when no one came to the door. When they entered the farm, they were met with a scene of horror. The elderly couple, their daughter, and 2 grandchildren had all been brutally murdered with an axe. The bodies were discovered in different parts of the house, some in their beds, others in the living room. The maid, too, was found dead, her body discovered in the barn. It was as though the murderer had taken his time, stalking each victim and then killing them in cold blood. Strangely, the farm animals were unharmed. What made the crime even more disturbing was that there were signs that the killer had been living in the house for days before the murders took place. Footprints in the snow led from the house to the woods, and neighbors reported seeing the family's lights on at night, even though no one had been seen leaving or entering the house. The killer seemed to have been hiding in the attic, moving around the house and using the family's own food and resources to survive. Despite the police investigation, the case was never solved. The identity of the killer remains a mystery to this day. Some believe the murderer was someone who knew the family, possibly a relative or a farm worker, but there were no clear suspects. The house itself was abandoned, and many locals claim that it is still haunted. Some say the sounds of footsteps in the attic can still be heard at night, and the farm remains a chilling reminder of the unsolved mystery that still lingers in the air.